What's up, y'all? It's Juice Couture here, back with my first video. Not back. Why do I want to say back? Hi, y'all. It's Juice Couture here with my first video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're into nursing, hair, beauty, and I guess just my lifestyle, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you're here because you're a nursing student, you just got rejected from nursing school, whatever the case may be, keep on watching because we're about to get into it. So I currently go to Uncg. For those who are not from North Carolina and don't know what that stands for, it stands for the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. And I should be noting that my laptop is down here. So if I'm looking down, it's just because I did put some things that have changed within the program and just some things I won't forget to tell you guys. So that's why I'm looking down. So the first thing I should know, a disclaimer should be added that any opinions or views expressed do not represent the opinions of the School of Nursing or the university itself. Basically, when applying to UNCG's program, there's certain requirements that you have, just like every other nursing program. So mainly they want you to have a 3.0, but realistically, those expectations are not what they really want. They want you to have something higher. So during orientation, when I was a freshman, they told me you need to have at least a 3.5 and up, and that could make you, I guess, competitive, which is really true. So a 3.0 will not get you into UNCG's program. So that's what they say. You should maintain this GPA. Now, before actually applying, like, you need a 3.0 to maintain a pre-nursing status. So it's not even considered pre-nursing anymore right now. I guess they've changed it to pre-health studies and identify as a health professions exploration, something like that. But when I was applying, it was considered pre-nursing before you actually got into the major. I did not have the SAT or ACT score that was needed for me to declare pre-nursing as my major. So I believe I was a health and human sciences before that. So if you don't do that, that's okay. That's what they told me. They was like, okay, it's all right. So all you need to do is get a 3.0, which is what I mentioned before. Get a 3.0 GPA, and then you're able to transfer over to the major. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, bet, it's fine, because I was not about to go and retake the SAT or ACT because I was like, I was a point under what it needed to be, and I was like, no. After I got that 3.0, I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to transfer. I applied to transfer, got accepted, and everything was good. I had a new major. I had a new advisor. I was considered pre-nursing. Everything was good for me. I made A's and B's. I made no C's. I didn't retake any prerequisites. I've always been a person that studies a lot. And if you're watching this, anybody that knows me, they know that about me. They will tell you that, like, I'm going to go study because I'm trying to get this degree. Like, and I had to start doing that. Just, you know, you got to prioritize what you care about and what you want and your goals. That's the only way you're going to achieve them. And, you know, I've had some people tell me, oh, well, you don't want to go out. Like, I'm like, I can't go out right now because I have a test and I need to study. Because if I fail that test the next day, I'm going to be mad as heck. Like, the party wasn't even worth it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to get this degree. That's my excuse. So, anyways, so when it's time to apply, basically, UNCG only takes applicants once a year. So in February is when the application is due. You can start applying in December. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is December. February 1st is when the application was due for me. UNCG, they require a T score, which if you've never heard of the T's, is sort of like a HESI test. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's basically a standardized test that tests you on math, science, grammar, and reading. So basically, if you fail 2 sections, it's gonna like affect your overall grade very badly. Even just probably failing 1 section is just, you know what I'm saying? So that is bad, but it still affects, you know what I'm saying, your overall grade, and you get a score. Our applications were due in February. I decided to take my T's really late, and this kind of backfired on me. Like, I don't know what it was. I just could not get the motivation to study, and I did not study enough like I needed to. And so for some people, you know, standardized tests are easy. They barely got to study, you know what I'm saying? But that's never been me. Like, I struggled in school. I still struggle in school, but it's got a little better because, you know, practice makes perfect. When it was time to take my T's, I didn't do so well. And that was really the hard part for me. I was crying. Like, I told my mom, like, I don't know what to do. I don't think I can apply now because I didn't make the minimum score. Now, Uncg, I didn't mention that before. Sorry. Uncg requires you to make at least a 78 on the T's. I went to go talk to them, and they insisted that I still apply. They did explain to me that I was going to get waitlisted either way because of my GPA and because of that score. So letters and packages were sent out. So during my spring break, I'm sitting here like, did you get a letter yet? No. Did you get a letter yet? Like, I need to know if you got a letter, a package. Do you have anything for me? And like, I was sitting there seeing on social media, people post, oh, I got accepted. Oh, I got accepted. I'm texting my nursing friends. I'm like, did you hear anything yet? And like, I will say that's one thing about like the year I applied. Like, you knew these people got accepted because they got accepted on Monday, Tuesday, you know, early in the week. I didn't get my letter till that Friday. So I was like, it's either waitlisted or denied. So, and that letter can mean either one. So I had known some people that got denied and they got a letter, and then when mine came, it said waitlisted. And so like for me, I was kind of like disappointed and grateful because like I got the letter. Yes, it said waitlisted. But now I even had to wait like even longer to see like whether or not I was going to get into the program. So time went on, you know, the semester, this is the spring semester, it's, you know, it's starting to finish up, and I'm just kind of figuring like, I need to have a backup plan. Like, I already didn't have one, and I'll say why. You're probably wondering like, well, why didn't you apply to another school? Uncg, they are a whole different ballpark and program when it comes to applying to nursing school. Realistically, like, it would have been hard because a lot of other programs require certain general ed requirements that we don't require. But I was like, okay, let me come up with my backup plan. So what my backup plan was, basically, I was like, I'm going to be a year behind. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to leave Uncg, but my main like thing was like, do I really want to be a nurse, or do I really want to be a nurse at Uncg? And it really tumbled down to the, I want to be a nurse, like regardless of the school. And I kind of had to let go of my top school for a second and say, okay, like, you can do this. Like, let's just figure out where else you can apply to that doesn't require T's and doesn't require that high, you know, standard of this GPA. And I was going to still retake my T's, but I just wanted just to have that so I wouldn't have to keep worrying about it because I didn't pass that exam, and it was just a lot of anxiety for me. So I just needed to find some schools that didn't have that. I'm not a person that likes to be told like, you can't do this. So I was like, I'm going to apply to Uncg again. And then I'm also going to apply to other schools. So what I ended up doing with my extra year, I took some general ed courses that other schools wanted. So like 2 Spanishes I took, and I also retook anatomy and physiology because the versions I had did not transfer. I took a little bit more time to retake my T's. And what I used the first time, I did not use again. For me, I can talk about what I used for my T's in another video if you guys want to see, and how I got better results. And I had taken the test on December 7th. I think it was something like that. When I found out, it was one of the best days of my life. I will say it is another nerve-wracking process because like I was kind of scared to check my email because I'm like, Like, I don't really want to check this. I am so scared. So after I passed, it was very great. I went ahead and turned my application in. You already know. I was so happy. I turned my application in, and directly, I didn't mail it in because you can mail it in. I went to my advisor and I gave them my application. I just still like applied to those other schools and did all that just in case. I needed that backup plan. There was no chance of me going through that again. Like, I was like, no, like, we're not going to take that chance. So applications due February, right? Same thing as last year. And I didn't go anywhere for spring break again. It was running around like Thursday, and I'm like, I haven't seen nobody post anything. Like, everybody was like, maybe one or two people. I was like, did they forget? Like, what's going on here? Like, yeah, so I'm like, okay, I haven't got anything. And like, my mom, she works at this place and she sees my mailman before they get to my place. And so she's interrogating the mailman, and he's like, no, I haven't gotten anything. Like, and like one time, like, it was like Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. And we both were at home for some reason. And we're running out to meet the mailman. And we're like, do you have a package? Do you have anything? And he's like, no, I'm sorry. And we're sitting there interrogating the mailman. And by that time, like, my spring break was basically over. And I'm like, I didn't receive anything. So what happened was I went back to school, and my package, of course, came on that Monday. 3 of the 5 schools I applied to, Uncg being one of them, I did get into Campbell and Queens, and I didn't get into the other 2 schools. The moral of the story I would like to point out is, yes, it was disappointing that I did not get into nursing school the first time. And yes, I am doing an extra year, but I am almost finished now. So it goes by quickly. If you were rejected, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just reapply. Apply somewhere else. If you really want to be a nurse, nothing will stop you. Nothing stopped me. I just had to realize that this is delayed, not denied. No one will ever question you how old you are at your job. All they're going to see is so-and-so, BSN RN. Thank you for tuning into my video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you're applying to nursing school, or you're considering applying, or you just got rejected. Bye, guys.